Hi, you've heard me talk many times about this thing we call Body by Microsoft, where we blame Bill Gates for everything because he invented the graphic user interface, which allows us to just spend all this countless times on our cell phones and our computers. But what we're also developing is upper cross pattern of inhibition, where the shoulder blades that I'll show on Stanley kind of move out to the side and the person gets a slump posture and whatnot. Well, years ago I did a program called Terminal Fitness, which was not fitness for people who have a terminal illness, but fitness for people who sit and work at terminals all day long. And one of the things I showed them to do was called an air push-up. And you say, well, I've heard of air guitar, but what is an air push-up? The whole idea is to try and get the shoulder blades to stay in, and if possible down into the back pocket, which would require the use of the rhomboids, along with the serratus anterior, but also the lower trapezius. And you say, well, how can I practice that at my desk? I'm not allowed to have exercise equipment at my desk. Well, here's what you can do. You can do an air push-up. And an air push-up, just like it sounds, is pushing up into the air as though I was laying on the ground, but I'm not really laying on the ground. So I'll demonstrate. If I push my arms out as though I'm doing an air push-up, and you say, well, Tom, how in the world does that do anything for my scapula? If I pinch my scapula together first, drop them into my back pocket, and then push out and maintain the scapula together. So I'm pushing outwards, but holding my scapula in, and you'll have to practice with the patient because their shoulder blades will come right out. Put your hand between their shoulder blades, give them a little facilitation, let them know that they're keeping their shoulder blades close as they reach forward. And this is not an exercise for the pecs. This is an exercise for the scapular stabilizers. So as a quick help for the patient who has to sit at a terminal all day long, teach them how to do an air push-up. And there are some variations for the air push-up, and you can have a person learn to do some of these exercises while they're driving the car. So for instance, they're in the car, they're holding onto the steering wheel, and have them pinch their shoulder blades together. And then gently lift a hand off of the wheel, a hand off of the wheel, and maybe while they're sitting at a light, take both hands off of the wheel and still maintain the shoulder blades together. There's all sorts of fun little modifications you can do, and all of this designed to help facilitate the scapular stabilizers, improve our posture, get the pressure off of the neurovascular bundle, help out the rotator cuff. There's a ton of things that just learning to reuse these scapular stabilizers can help with, and the air push-up is just one way to get it done.